do rag. Morning, everyone. Well, I've been up for a while, but you know. Hi, everyone coming in. I am. Hi, everyone coming in. I am Shams, the goddess. Welcome to my bigger show, Shams Don't Care. My main show. Oh no. Oh no. I need a bigger cushion, people. Right. Let me just get a bigger cushion because I'm only tiny. Today, yeah. Better start off and say it's Tuesday. I hope that you've all started your week on a high note. Not that high. It's only Tuesday, people. Slow down. But I hope you've all started your day, your week on a high. Where's my water? I should have poured some more. I need to get more. Anyways, so there's been a lot of celebrity news going on. And it's all to do with, let's just say, it started off a few years ago with, I'd say, for me, Gary Glitter on the PEADO train. Then I'd also say that's on the paedophile train. Yeah, Gary Glitter, Jimmy Savile, he's one of the worst. And let me tell you something, people. I don't even want to say allegedly, okay? But the royal family in Britain, England, you've got a lot to answer for when it comes to the paedophiles. Yeah, we're looking everywhere but where we should be looking. Now, we've had Gary Glitter. You probably don't know him. You don't want to. We've had Jimmy Savile, Mofo. Thank gosh he's dead. The things that he done was absolutely atrocious. Hi, everyone coming in. When people come in, can you say hi and don't divert the questions? Don't divert the questions. Thank you. Yeah. If you want to ask me questions, we go on the Goddess channel later on. My other channel. Today we're talking about Candice. That's my daughter's alarm. I'm keeping my voice down because she's got a job interview today. And then she's got college straight after. Yeah. And I suggest you talk to me with a bit of manners, or else you get blocked. Do you understand me? No, in fact, I don't even want you on here. You're just rude. You're blocked. Anyone else comes on here and interrupts me like that, you're blocked. I just don't want it. Do you understand me? Thank you very much. And like I said, all my content is found on the public domain. I do operate using the fair use guidelines, together with my own opinions, which are not necessarily true. Shams don't care. Or you can call me Shams the Goddess. Don't forget to check out that channel. Now, like I was saying, we're jumping on the PDF files. And Candice has been talking about President Macron's wife. There may be trouble ahead. And I've been wondering, now, Candice is one of those, she's a bit like Marmite, you either like her or hate her. And I've been wondering why she's jumping on this little train. But let me just divert your attention, just like the media does. Let me just divert your attention. Do you remember David Icke? ICKA. He used to be, I think he was a journalist. I don't know if he used to be a soccer star footballer, but I know he was a journalist, very high profile. And he came out years ago. He was one of the first whistleblowers. And he was talking about things like MK Ultra, lizard people, all those. And you know, I've always loved my conspiracies, so check out some of the conspiracy videos I've been doing on my other channel if you're interested. And thank you everyone for the likes, and good morning. It's Tuesday today. Can you hear the traffic? I've got to do my nails, hoover up and everything. But today we're going to be reviewing Candace, because the burning question that people ain't asking, and I'm a nosy cow, is, Candace, why are you so interested in President Macron, man-bloke wife, being a man-bloke? I mean, does it matter, Candace? They all lie. Like, what's it matter? And I kept saying to you, like, there's more to these. Morning, honey. I said, there's more to these than you lot are thinking. It's not just a salacious gossip. I said this to you like months ago. If Candace is telling you something, don't take it with a pinch of salt. Do you know what I mean? She'll give you a few crumbs to start off with, but then she will move it on. And I'm telling you, Candace ain't giving you a few crumbs and betting her whole career on something that ain't going to make her world famous. Now, we think that this President Macron's wife, being a man bloke, is going to be shocking for anyone. We're used to transvestites. And nobody, I don't think no one really gives two flying fucks. What you got to think is there's something much deeper. And this goes on to the MK Ultra, and it also goes on to, what else? Oh, the PDF files. All working together. Now, let's listen to this, people. And let's analyse Candace, because don't forget, Candace was very close to President Trump. She got a lot of backlash for supporting President Trump, because obviously everyone thinks President Trump is racist. I have to say everyone thinks, yeah. My opinion here does not matter. I don't live in America. But when he does hook up America, people have to realise that England, so far we are allies with America. So if America does go to war, do they think they're going to drag me into it? Kill off my country, and then my other country, Jamaica, into it? No. No, blood. I ain't fighting no fucking war. Yeah, that I didn't choose. Standard. Times are changing, blood. Number one, I'm a woman, and I've realised I've got power. Number two, I'm black, and I've realised I've got power. Number three, I'm dark-skinned, and I realised I've got power. And number four, got braids, and I realised I got power. And number five, I got a mouth, and I realised I got power. I don't hold back. I question everything. And everyone does everything to satisfy themselves. It doesn't matter what the fuck they tell you. Let me tell you something. Everybody, well, they're only having a relationship with you. Every relationship is there to satisfy their own needs. I'm talking to you like now to satisfy my needs. Yeah? Because number one, views and all that shit. Number two, I want to get out my views. Number three, I do want people to know what's really going on. I've always been on that bandwagon. No one can say it's for the fucking cash because YouTube banned me years ago and I couldn't give a fuck YouTube. That's why I don't care. Relationships does go both ways. What I'm saying is, if I, for example, a mother and child, a relationship with a child is you rely on that mother. You rely on them for guidance and, you know, cash, whatever. Do you know where I'm coming from? But the mother, what's the reliance, or the parent, the father, the grand, whoever? You want to care for them. You want to invest in that person. My investment is in that child, not to fuck up, not to embarrass me. Do you know where I'm coming from? And then I'm investing in myself, my emotional health. Can I look after that child? Can I do any, you know, am I doing the best that I can, the best of my ability? Everything's a relationship. When I'm working with my managers, or if I've got my employees, I have to make sure that my relationship with them is 50-50. Do you know what I mean? I have to match their needs so they can match mine. Every person in your life, that's a relationship. And you got to think who's giving 50-50. Now, basically, it's the same with media. It's the same with the presidents and everything. Now, Candace, at the start of this, I've only watched 2 minutes into it. And within 2 minutes, I already planned my show about an hour ago. I got the planning out, people. And I already planned what I was going to do for this show because I've done a few shows on the last one. And people, yes, we got the hair done. The reason it looks like that is because it's a mess, but I will show you. But I want to play Candace while we're doing a review. The reason it looks like this is because I only finished it last night. Fuck me, it's boiling hot. I haven't done my armpits. I finished it last night. It looks raggedy, but it's not. So let's have a listen. It starts off, it says, Becoming Brigitte, UK, MK Ultra, and the French, Gold Rush. And I'm thinking, oh, what's this about then? Becoming Brigitte and all that crap. So I'm like, okay. Come on then, Candace. Now, don't forget, people, what we say. Candace was very good friends with President Trump until when? Until when? Jason, Kelly Boy. Number one, you're saying go home. I think you're referring to me going back to Jamaica. Number one, Jamaica and Britain are of the same, if you didn't realise. Number two, you're white collar, yeah? I don't think you're fucking white. I think you might be mixed race for putting boy. And with a name like Jason, probably using your missus' name. But number two, don't tell anyone to go home because you don't know where you came from and your people took over everyone's land. So why don't you go home? Oh, where is your home? Where is your home? Remember where the motherland was and who birthed you? Now put some respect on that. Understand me? People, my fingers coming out because of the heat. You know what I'm like. I'm getting old now, menopausal. So let's start off with Candace before we were really rudely interrupted. You can come on my channel and think that you can... I've got tough skin, mate. I've been here for years. Check out my credentials. I don't just do YouTube. I've been on TV and everything, love. Yeah. Abuse is nothing. And, oh, is she racist against whites? I don't know. Go and ask my fucking off-white kids. Do I give a fuck what your feelings are? No. I match energy. Remember that. So if you come on here and I'm nice to you, that means you've been nice to me. If I fuck you off, yeah, that means next time Do better. That means your mom never raised you right. She dragged you up like the fucking dirty little fucking dog you are. Now remember that. Quick lesson in life. People, the adverts might come on because Shamz doesn't pay for her crap.
All right, you guys. Well, never in a million years did I believe that this investigation would lead us to this moment, and I am not.
I can't speak up because my daughter is asleep. And can you stop putting that on because you're going to get banned? You sound like you're unhinged. People like you mess up people's businesses on purpose. There's smaller businesses like YouTubers like us who are trying to get it out there. And you're the kind of people that are making media and famous people who we're trying to, you know, get rid of paedophiles. We're trying to protect children and that. And you're coming on here taking it as a joke. We're trying to educate people. And you're coming on here taking it as a joke. Now, when you need help, let's see how fucking funny it is. Yeah, let's see who's laughing now. When shit really affects you, let's see how funny it is. When your child is getting dragged around and raped, let's see how funny it is. Yeah. When your mom's getting beaten, let's see how funny it is. You know? Not that you give a fuck about women, because quite obviously. When your ass is getting taken from under your ass because you're too busy, not getting a fucking job, but just sitting there trolling people, let's see how funny it is. Instead of sitting there trolling people, if you're not interested in what I'm saying, go out and educate yourself. Go and do something to better your life. The only thing I see people doing nowadays is trolling. That is the new job. Do better. When I was younger, I come from Jamaica at the age of 7. And I've surpassed half of the English people. Are you fucking mad? I'm from Jamaica, blood. Do better. And I'm black, dark-skinned woman. Everything's against me. Much love to the US as well. Just spoke to my admins in the US as well. Well, some of my admins. I need to speak to my English one soon after I set her off. And then see if my son's coming. And people check out my conspiracy about the new moon. And be careful. We're getting rid of... Everyone's going to feel a bit rubbish lately. Yeah, you're going to feel like everything's on top of you. Don't worry about it. Let it ride. Don't stress. Yeah. God's got you. And if you don't believe in God, it doesn't matter. You're a fighter anyway. Don't forget, you say, I'm not. If you're here so far, you are a fighter. Keep on keeping it moving. Stay strong. So, let's go. And if my admins come on and anyone on replay, 18 minutes in, we're starting the video. Candace, I'm going to have to keep stopping you every 2 seconds on your part because I don't want to get sued. Yeah, let's play it on 1:15. And everyone, that's another tip I will give you. I work a job that a lot of people quit fast. I've worked at the job for 4 years. Fair play, Mary. Some people can't withstand things, you know, it's just not for them, but at least they try because God loves a trier. You know. But yeah, so let's carry on. People, this is Candace's that we're going to be reviewing, and I don't normally do reviews on this one. Normally we do celebrity and other gossip, but we're going to do Candace. I don't really need to show her face. You already know what she looks like. This is her latest video.
All right, you guys. Well, never in a million years did I believe that this investigation would lead us to this moment, and I am not even referring to the lawsuit. I'm referring to something.
And if you don't know, Candace is being sued by President Macron and his wife. And it's very funny that President Macron and his wife is suing Candace because there is a lot of evidence to prove that this President Macron's wife, Brigitte, is a fucking barefaced lying whore. I couldn't give a shit. She's a liar. But shock horror. Ain't they all? Ain't they all fucking barefaced liars? Everybody lies. What the fuck? These motherfuckers. If they don't want you to know the business, why don't they just say, I don't want you to know my business? But the thing is, when you're a political figure and that, people need to know your business so they can put trust in you. Do you know where I'm coming from? I want to know all your background, everything. So when you're telling these little fucking shitty little lies, people are going to be questioning it. Why you say, I mean, number one, President Macron, what age did you meet your wife? You was a 14-year-old boy when you met your bloke wife, your wife. That, yes, I do believe Candace. And she's being sued, people, for having... She's being sued because, look at that bit there. I need to fucking do it properly. She's being sued because President Macron's wife is a bloke, allegedly. And Candace is trying to prove it. And I've always said, Candace, what's so deep about it? And like I said, there's more to it than that. Candace ain't just, she's giving you crumbs at the moment because this is going to go fucking deep. And I was telling you a lot about, this is all going to be connected to the Epstein files. This is going to be connected, mark my words, remember this fucking video. This is going to be connected to the royal family, Epstein files, tunnels, yeah, and President Trump. And President Trump doesn't really know much to do with the Macrons, but he is fucking lying. That's why the Macrons did fly over. Now let's start. I'm sorry, people, for being rude.
I'm referring to something much bigger. Foremost, I should let you guys know that it was announced just 3 hours ago that the French government has collapsed. Oh, okay. Yeah, there it is. New York Times. French government collapses again, deepening paralysis. But I don't want you guys to...
Oh, so allegedly, the French government has got deepening paralysis. I don't know what that is, people. It's a sickness, obviously, not sickness. Allegedly. Paralysis to me is when you're fucking paralyzed. But I don't know.
Distracted because I think it is sort of a distraction a little bit. They don't want you watching Becoming Brigitte season 2. I personally think Emmanuel Macron wants out. No, instead they're telling the French people, take to the streets. I hope by now you guys realize that these decisions, like who is going to be president and when, those decisions are actually made in a boardroom. If you don't understand that, and I hope you will by the end of this episode.
Did you hear that, people?
I want you watching Becoming Brigitte season 2. I personally think
Emmanuel Macron
wants out. No, instead they're telling the French people, take to the streets. I hope by now you guys realize that these decisions, like who is going to be president and when, those decisions are actually made in a boardroom.
Oh, are they, Candace? Those decisions, that fucking bit of my ass pissing me off. Those decisions are made in the boardroom. Is it? So if you knew, Candace, that those decisions were made in the boardroom, who's already going to be president? If we're all stupid, Candace. If we didn't know that. Well, if you knew that, Candace, why was you on board pretending? On the voting board? Was you not sitting there doing how much? People on my line, did Candace not do a series on Kilimanjaro? Telling you don't vote for Kilimanjaro. Did she not? It says don't vote for Kilimanjaro Harris. Vote for Tango Man Trump. Did she know? Because it's all, you know, it will change your life. No, she's telling you.
It's out. No, instead they're telling the French people,
no,
take to the streets. I hope by now you guys realize that these decisions, like who is going to be president and when, those decisions are actually made in a boardroom.
Oh, now they're made in the boardroom. All right, thank you. Now, these decisions are made in the boardroom, Candice. Now, you see, bitches are grassing on themselves. You see? Candice, you just literally fucking threw your own self under the bus because you were sitting there, you made how much money last year slagging off Kilimanjaro and telling every black person don't fucking vote for her because she ain't really black, as Indian, Chinese, and every other fucking colour of the rainbow. You told us that she was a scammer and to vote for Trump, and then now Trump hasn't given you the job. Yeah? Now Trump hasn't given you the job. Now we're going to throw our dummies out the cart. And now you've lost the plot and you're going to throw everyone under the bus and tell the truth. Wicked, I'm here for it, mate. I'm here for the shit show.
If you don't understand that, then I hope you will by the end of this episode. So welcome back to Becoming Brigitte 2.
Candice, you don't hear your bullshit. Right, let's get rid of the adverts. I've decided I've got to skip. I bet you put her advert on.
You guys, a lot going on. I want you to take me seriously when I say this, okay? Seriously, I'm not trying to be funny here. Brigitte Macron
you're a clown.
does not do how she walks. Here is a clip of
Brigitte
her
Macron, what?
right. There's a lot that can be discerned from someone's gait, and I want you guys in this moment to pay close attention to how she walks. Here is a clip of her walking out of a shopping store in Paris. Take a look here. This is slowed down for you. Just look at the
man,
legs,
just look like a man
posture.
Oh, MJ, that is a blow.
It's interesting.
Now, watch the next clip.
And of course, to add to that, the now infamous clip of Brigitte as a drama
Watch this
instructor.
one.
And you can watch the way that she walks, but more importantly, the way that Brigitte sits. Take a look at this clip.
Watch this. Look at the dick.
Real.
Look, it's got a penis. It's got a fucking dick. OMG.
There's something about the manner that Brigitte is sitting that you look at that as a woman and you go, that's just not the way that women sit, right? We do not widespread in that manner. We tend to understand that when you look at that image, you're looking at somebody that is a dude. But I'm more concerned in that moment of the way that she's sort of wide walking, right? When you see her.
I am bothered about her walk. So basically, you're trying to convince us that because of the way she walks, she's a man bloke. I'm going to need more evidence than that. You know what I mean? You're right. I'm going to need more evidence than the way that she's walking. Don't get me wrong, people. I know for a fact, yeah. Candice ain't Betty, nothing. You don't know, they'll all know what's going on. Candice ain't Betty in her life or nothing. But like I've said in previous shows, when it comes to Candice, yeah, there's more to it. If Candice is digging into something, she's planting crumbs. And you need to do your own homework. And I'm telling you now, before Candice has even spilt the fucking beans, she talked about the MK Ultra. We've already talked about that. It was a bit obvious, Candice, when people were feeding you crumbs a couple of weeks ago, you should have fucking been clocking on. Wake up, bitch. I know you're a mom of 3 now, but you got a team. I know I've got a team as well, but your team's bigger. So, wake up, Candice. Let's be real now. I ain't on no one's team because they're all fucking... they're all what Candice says, planning everything. Everything's pre-planned. I'm not bothered. I'm not bothered about the pre-planned bit. What I'm trying to do is wake people up to what's really happening in the world. And once everyone has took that pill, once you see something, you can't unsee it. And once you've took that bitter pill, you're like, fuck it. This is my revenge story. This is my moment. This is my perfect moment to be a villain. This is your moment to take control. Remember, how much of the elites run the world? How much of a percentage of the elites run the world? Who runs the world? The elites. How many of them are there? Not that many. How many of us are there? What the fuck are we doing sitting there crying? Shall I tell you why? Because we've been programmed from a young age to have fear. White people have been programmed to fear black people. Yeah. Black people have been programmed to think that white people are the enemy. And then you've got Muslims against the Sikhs, you know, and the Hindus. There's what they create drama. They created a lot of religion. Yeah. Well, not created. They've doctored a lot of it. And from the day that you're born, they've indoctrinated you to believe things. And when you believe something, it's very hard for someone to tell you that's not the truth. It's like me telling you the sky's not really blue. And you're looking at the sky and you're like, bitch, it's blue. And I'm like, no, it's fake, honey. But to you, that's blue. So it's going to be very hard to convince you that the sky is not blue. Does that make sense? Basically, so you have to show evidence. And that's why I like to show factual evidence on these things. Yeah, the New World Order has been here from day dot. Now, I've been going back lately, studying a lot of history. I've had time on my hands to be doing a lot of things, you know what I mean? And I know that I should have said it. I did say it on my last show, on my Goddess channel, though. Russia have changed, and this is what I didn't elaborate on. Russia, President Putin, I think it's every 2 years you're supposed to change the presidency. He says, no, scrap that. And I knew he'd do it. I said this when Trump went in. I said, he's going to change it, the date. Putin went, fuck that, no. It's not going to be every 2 years. It's going to be, I'm going to be president until 2030 something, 2033. Or was it 35? Something like that. So when the Russian people voted for him, they voted for him for a 2-year stay to see how he's going to change the country. Man's changed up the laws and he went, nah, blood. I'm here to stay for as long as I want. Then a few other countries started doing it. I think, was it China or Korea and that? North Korea, I think a few other ones, don't quote me on which ones, but yeah, they started changing up the dates. And they're like, no, blood. You're going to vote when we tell you you're going to vote. It's not going to be every 2 years or every 4 years. It's going to be every 10 years. And people are like, but you can't do that. And they're like, yeah, we fucking can. We just did. Now, who do you think is next to do that? I'll give you 3 seconds. It's a big country. Trump. And after Trump, it's going to be Keir Starmer. Oh, I'm going to be Prime Minister for the next 10 years. I've changed the law. Yeah, America, they're all changing the laws. So when everyone's predicting that Trump is going to be the last president, maybe they're right. Because we're thinking, no, because it's every 4 years, so what's happening? That's how we're thinking. But realistically, like I said to everyone, when Trump became a president, that motherfucker is mad with power. Last time he thought, fuck this, he tried to fuck me up. Now I'm going to fuck you all up. Revenge is sweet. And he don't give a fuck, he's on the cutting block. Cause austerity, that's what he's doing in America. Get rid of everyone. And then bring back all the slaves again. Restart. Basically, they're just restarting. what they've been doing for years and years and years. Next year, they'll be giving you a worldwide pandemic, a flu or some shit. Then they give you a break for a year to recover. Then the year after, it will be, would it be disasters? No. What is it? It's every few years to do something. I have got it on my chart, but I've been decorating people, so, you know. But you get the gist. Yeah, it's a great reset. Thank you, Mary. I'm glad you're on the same page, babes. We're in the same page. We're in the same library, in the same book, and the same page. It is a great reset, and we're in it. Now, if you're spiritual, people know about the new moon. And there's another one soon coming. I did talk about it. Right.
Walking, right? When you see her coming out of the store. I would say that that gate in particular is quite military because it's difficult if you have been in the military for a long time to sort of shake that training.
Yeah, I agree.
Now, to remind you guys, Jean-Michel Trogneau, Brigitte's quote-unquote brother, has a military file that the government is refusing to release for whatever reason. It is a pretty long military tenure, and this is when Jean-Michel Trogneau sort of just disappears. You should also know...
Basically, Candace is saying that Brigitte was saying that, she was in the US of A for the moon landing, blah, blah, blah. There's no paper saying it. But she's got a brother called Jean Bragno or whatever that name is. And that's who she's on about. He was in the US of A. He was in the army. And he kind of looks like that. Now, Brigitte has got nothing apart from doctored pictures, which has been proven to be doctored. One picture of her when she was younger with her family. I mean, this is the president's wife. You've only got one picture in your whole life. And no one else in the whole world has got a picture of you when you was younger. But I heard that she wasn't, she's told everyone, don't release nothing on me.
That what has been confirmed is that he held the rank of sergeant in Germany. That's really relative. He held the rank of sergeant in Germany when he was at the Spires Club. And we can track him. The most that we can do in terms of tracking Jean-Michel is in large part thanks to Xavier's book. To recap,
now it gets interesting.
Photos of Jean-Michel Trogneau through the years. Here he is in 1953 in school in Amiens. We also have the 1954 photo of Jean-Michel in school in Amiens. And finally, we have that 1955 photo of him in school in Amiens. Of course, the big photo, the big premiere was seeing him, which was very difficult for Xavier to get his hands on, in 1963 at the age of 18.
Now, Xavier is a writer. And he's from France. And he wrote a book. I think it's that one called Becoming Brigitte. Now, I don't know if it was that one, actually. Don't quote me. But Xavier wrote a book. And in this book, it gets very interesting because it tells you how Brigitte became from a man to a woman. And they went missing. Basically, Brigitte went to US of A. There's no records of her going to the US of A. Number 2, she lied about her age. Number 3, there's no pictures of her when she was younger. Number 4, the PDF file case, because how old was the president when she met him and groomed him? Because let's just say that's exactly what it is. She groomed that boy. Number 5, were we on 5 or 6? Number 5, yeah. This is a man that went in the fucking army, that went missing for a few years, told that many lies, still walks like a fucking man bloke, had an operation to chop his foot. I don't think he's had his dick chopped. Quite obviously, his dick ain't chopped. And you're thinking, well, there ain't a bulge. There was a bulge at the start of this. There was a fucking bulge. That is President Macron's fucking wife. That is Brigitte Macron.
He is in engineering school.
You know, people like that, they should be ashamed of themselves, yeah? Shouldn't you be proud if you're a transvestite? Shouldn't you be like sitting there being up there with the LGBTQT? Shouldn't you? But now you're ashamed, you're fucking hiding. You're an embarrassment.
But Xavier Broussard reveals
I'm not even fucking LGBTQ3.
Engineering school was a bit complicated. I want you to think of that
Whatever
period of
they're
time as we would
Yeah.
in America as a
That's-
high school. That's the simplest way to think about that time. So in 1963, at the age of 18, Jean Michel should have been awarded his diploma. Instead, Xavier Broussard discovers that for whatever reason, despite being in that 1963 class photo, Jean-Michel Trogneau hadn't actually graduated, and there were all sorts of oddities as he was trying to get these files. I'm going to
She's
read you this
beautiful.
from his book. He wrote, quote, "The 20-page document shows," and that he's referring to his school files, "that Jean-Michel Trogneau, then aged 18, the age at which typically the diploma is awarded in France, had not attended school for the previous years, the previous 3 years.
Did you hear that,
No diploma,
people?
not even the BEPC, which is normally awarded at the end of the..."
So, that's another lie. That's been debunked, yeah? Like Candace has found. And the author from France has found.
Third year. Okay, so that's weird. Where was Jean-Michel Trogneau when he was 15, 16, 17? He also says that he had so many absences while he was at this school. Then we fast forward to 1967, and at the age of 23,
man.
we know that Jean-Michel Trogneau is in Germany at that Spire Club again.
I don't know, though, marriage arrangement. There was 14 when they met. By the time they'd met, Brigitte had already had the change. I don't know if it was a full change, because looking at all the pictures, it doesn't seem like it's a full change. Now, I've never heard Brigitte speak, but I have met a lot of transvestite women, I got time for this. Fucking, you know, doing their shit, reversing to men, and men turning into women. And, you know, with every man that turns into a woman, the women, they're always short. They always wear gingham things with the rolled up sleeves. Or they're the over feminine ones, the lesbian ones. And, well, the ones that change. Or you get the other one. The other ones that are like, where can I put it? The male versions. This is what I'm getting at. And I think this is what Candace is saying. Even as a man, when you have a sex change, I'm a woman. I'm 5'2". I'm very tiny. Very small. I look bigger on here. I'm fucking tiny. Big in size. But I've got a sporty body. To me, I've got broad shoulders. Sometimes I feel like I've got Adam's apple. And I've got a deep voice, so I feel a bit too manly. Do you know what I mean? And I'm thinking, like, I've seen a lot of my friends, black, white, Asians, they've got deep voice in it, even though they're gals. I mean, some have got dainty voices, but a lot of us have got deep voices. And I've seen women, as pretty as they are, walking like blokes. And I'm like, fuck, you know, girl. So, you know, more so I'm like, I don't understand. I can understand what she's saying. I think a lot of times, basically what I'm saying is a lot of male transvestites, And I gotta tell the truth, yeah, because my channel's called Shamz Don't Care and I don't fucking lie. The truth is, all for you blokes, yeah, that turn into females. You hate females. I don't care what you say, no offence. But you hate females, mate. And you females that turn into men, I love you and all that, but you ain't. I know you feel in your heart that you are. Sometimes I feel like I'm a phoenix. Sometimes I feel like I'm a goddess, but you know what, babes? I ain't. Well, the goddess bit I am. You know, sometimes you believe shit, but it ain't happening. And instead of people telling you, yeah, that it is what it is, they endorse you to carry on doing that bullshit. I'm sorry, because that's exactly what it is. To me, it's like my child coming to me and saying, Mom, I don't want to be mixed race today. Can you, I don't know, put some fucking bleach on me so I can turn white? And then they keep badgering me for about 2 years and I'm just going to allow it. Because it's, it's making them depressed. No, I don't think so. I think there's something around them that's making them think that. I genuinely do. And if they do, genuinely believe, I genuinely do. There's something psychologically wrong with you if you genuinely hate yourself that much that you want to change your sex. And you want me to sit there supporting you, fucking up and mutilating your body that God gave you and created for you to love. Your beautiful body you want to mutilate. And I'm supposed to say, okay, honeypot, carry on. No. As a true human and a true fucking friend, I could never do that. But it's not my choice and it's not my body. But if I was a surgeon, I'd refuse it. And if I was a doctor or a psychologist, I don't know any of that fucking shit. Sometimes common sense prevails. Yeah, am I lying? People don't want to say it because they don't want to offend. The truth is the fucking truth. If someone comes to me telling me they want, you know, like having tattoos and that, you want to mark your body like me and all that, you think it's all cool, but psychologically, it's because you want to hide yourself away, same as tattoos and all that. Earrings, I mean, piercings. A lot of the westernized world, some people, they do it for their tribe's religious reason. The westernized world have took it, and psychologically the government have made you fuck up and thought it was fashion. But it's not fashion, because a lot of people that do those kinds of things, they do it because they're trying to cover something up. And it's the same when it comes to taking drugs. It's the same when it comes to overeating, shopping, undereating, you know, overspending, anything, gambling, any little thing. Those are psychological problems. And these are the things that people use to try and suppress it. Drugs, a lot. And people don't want to admit it because they think that they're a failure. And one thing about human beings is they don't like being a failure, probably because when you was younger, a lot of people kept telling you was a failure. So being an adult, you don't hear him. So you try and block it out by any means. And then you look at other people and tell them they're a failure because they're not doing what you're doing, so you feel better in yourself. I noticed that in a lot of people. Well, hi everyone coming in. Don't forget to smash the like, and I hope you're having a wonderful Tuesday. Start that week wonderful. Even if you had a shit day yesterday, people, don't worry about it. Breathe. Do a blue control and breathe. It will get better, don't worry, babes. We're going through a new moon, apparently. A black moon or a blood moon. I put a black moon on my goddess channel when I was doing it yesterday, but it turns out it wasn't a black moon, it was a blood moon. I need to change the title. It don't matter. My daughter will be up in a minute. In fact, Alexei! Are you up? Now I can talk properly. Whoa! Oh gosh, I felt suppressed. Right, Candace, come on.
Know that Jean-Michel Trogneau is in Germany at that Spire Club again. I want you to also know that that is in the Rhineland, okay? That's the area that caused a lot of drama during World War II, right? German Rhineland. We also know, like I said earlier, that he held this rank of sergeant. But Xavier Poussard, in his book, Becoming
Xavier
is unequivocal about exactly who Jean-Michel Trogneau is. He wants you to know that Jean-Michel Trogneau becomes Brigitte. He wrote this, and I quote, "Therefore, we can conclude that Jean-Michel Trogneau has been living under the civil birth identity of his sister, Brigitte Trogneau, since at least 1986.
What did you hear that, people? So we found out that Brigitte became, well, Jean Trogneau. That was the original name that Brigitte's family is. And she was supposed to be Brigitte Trogneau. And she had an older sister, which she lied about, by the way. Them ones, yeah, she changed. So basically, the bloke went to America, done an operation, worked with the government, and we come into that, and then became Brigitte, and then went on to groom kids while still walking like Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'll be back.
Laurence and Typhon Ozier, Brigitte's children, are administratively his nephews.
So his kids are his nephews.
Because Xavier Poussard was never sued for
You're right,
defamation.
Selena, though.
Why is that?
Yeah, why has Xavier been sued?
His nephews. That's remarkable that he wrote that in the book. Because Xavier Poussard was never sued for defamation.
But you see, Candace.
Why is that? Why hasn't Xavier Poussard, if that is the wrong information, been sued for defamation? He is a French citizen. That would make the most sense. That is a clue, you guys, okay?
Exactly. You're suing an American person in America for defamation. You said you won a court case for suing someone in France. This is the Macrons, the French president and his man-bloke wife. You said that you sued a newspaper for defamation, but that was bullshit. You didn't sue them for defamation. You sued them for one misquote on one word. You didn't sue them for them calling you a man-bloke. So tell the media the truth. France. The whole of France knows. France is one big paedophile ring. So is London, the royal family, the law. And this is where she's going to. And plus, on top of that, for some of them, they've been operating on these people. It's like we're literally living in World War II, in the concentration camp. They're doing tests on all of us, and we don't even know it. And they're like, yeah, but we're only doing it just for you. We're trying to help you, though. Do you know what I mean? It's for your best interest. They're gaslighting you after.
President Macron, who is panicking at the moment, was unable to really offer an explanation for this lawsuit in America. He said that it was because the story had become so big in America, they had to do something. The story had become so big in America that they had to do something. That, my friends,
why are you concerned about America?
I'll tell you this. When you panic, you tend to make mistakes.
Yeah.
Even before we had jumped into this series, the Macrons had already sent lawyers. They had already sent investigators to look into me. Emmanuel Macron flew to the United States to speak to Trump shortly thereafter. So we have to ask ourselves, what is it in particular about my...
Is that why Candace didn't get that job with Trump people? Because Trump did say to Candace, drop your investigation. And Candace went, computer says no. And Trump went, drop the investigation, Candace. And Candace went, computer said No, listen, I've got my evidence.
A voice and my reach within America that has the Elysee Palace so concerned.
I'm lying. That's what happened. Right.
Voice and my reach within America that has the Elysee Palace so concerned. While tracing the life of Jean-Michel Chagnon, Xavier Broussard unwittingly, I think, stumbled upon what is likely to lead us to the truth.
What did we
Here was
stumble
what
upon?
he wrote in Becoming Brigitte. He wrote, quote, or asked rather, quote, what did Jean-Michel Chagnon do between June of 1968 and 1973?
That's what I wrote down.
Although little is known about this period of his life, Brigitte has always claimed to have watched the 1969 American moon landing on TV from the United States.
Well, she wasn't there.
Yeah. The answer is obvious if you're paying attention. It's that Jean-Michel Chagnon must have been here in America from 1968 to 1973. They are panicked because there is something here in the United States that we should have access to. The Macrons very much needed the investigation into Brigitte's life and background to be contained to France, right? Because Jean-Michel Chagnon wasn't in France during those years. Therefore, it is unlikely that a French journalist could have solved the mystery alone. Unfortunately for the Macrons, fate would have it that French journalist Xavier Broussard teamed up with a very persistent Candace Owens.
Oh. So when the truth, thank you, Annette. When the truth was revealed in France by Xavier, he's an author who wrote a book called Becoming Brigitte Macron. That's the president's wife, which we know she changed in 1986. Yeah? And the name used to be Jean-Michel Chagnon. Now, we all know people. Well, we've all heard of MK Ultra. Now, in this book, it delves deeper into shit like that. And I've always said to you, and I'll stand on my ground. Lexi, excuse me, sorry. Could you switch that H on, please, princess? People wish my daughter luck. She's got a job interview today. And then she's got to go back to college. She's still doing her engineering. She's in the first year. I don't know why she took engineering. Her brother had a distinction in engineering and she took engineering. I was like, girl, you could have been a model, a singer, anything. But no, I'm glad that my daughter's like, hell fucking no. This girl's like, I'm earning money. I don't want no kids. I don't want to get married. I was like, babe, so you a lesbian? She's like, no. I was like, you sure? I've only had one daughter. I don't mind lesbians, but mate, I need a spare if I've only got one. I want to see the wedding and everything. If I get married to a man, but fuck you. Check out my show that I've done, people, on weddings. And why you shouldn't get fucking married if you're a woman. Because that contract is a confuckery. Let me tell you, people, they're fooling you. They're telling you to chase a man like a lapdog for that ring. And then you're stuck there for fucking life. With the kids. He's shagging all your mates. All your family. Shit, you know. I don't want another one. And I want to show you the basket for my son's girlfriend for her birthday, but I can't. And I've got to hide it from him. Me and him, I fucking, you know, me and my son, we clash bad. Bad. He's like that fucking idiot dad of his. But is it his girlfriend? Thank fuck. And we've got a surprise for his girlfriend. His girlfriend doesn't like me. Allegedly. I don't know what.
Xavier Poussard teamed up with have solved the mystery alone. Unfortunately for the Macrons, fate would have it that French journalist Xavier Poussard teamed up with a very persistent Candace Owens. More panicking, more mistakes from the Elysee Palace.
And we know Candace
lawsuit filing in and of itself
more.
was
It's
a bad
gonna go
idea.
to the
But beyond that,
pedophile.
it was sloppy.
Sorry,
More
Candace.
panicking, more mistakes from the Elysee Palace. The lawsuit filing in and of itself was a bad idea. But beyond that, it was sloppy. MK Ultra, 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 MK Ultra.
All right, Candace, don't get me banned, don't get me banned, don't get me banned, don't get me banned, don't get me banned. It's hello fucking Dr. Uma, it's hello Dr. Uma, it's hello fucking Dr. Uma. When you keep repeating things, yeah, it's a bit like hypnotizing people. It's one of the tricks that I want to say we use. I'm not one of them. It's a trick. There's a lot of tricks that you can use to draw people in. And repeating things. I thought that was a fucking idiot. My baby father, Candace Owens, is good friends with Andrew Tate. I know. She done a thing with him. I follow everything, babes. Have you only just joined my channel? You don't know about media? I'm a veteran, babes. I'm old school.
Times. Dogs do not bark unless they perceive a threat.
Yeah.
So I will quickly remind you that
I
we
said
caught
this yesterday,
Jean
you copy
Marie
bitch.
Trogneau. I'm thinking this could maybe be Brigitte's father on a ship in 1961.
Yeah.
Coming from France, stopping in Canada, and then arriving in Oakland, California.
Now we're going to
And
go
just
through
our
I
love
went
that
through the dates on this. And she was absolutely right. Now, Candace, when she looked through her emails and everything, and you go through all the dates, this Brigitte is very much obvious. I don't even know why they're going through with this court case. But you know that Candace is going to lose on a technicality. That's why they're doing it in Denver. And then, you know, we all know about the Denver airport, but that's another fucking thing.
Got caught up in a lawsuit from that same year, which allowed us to know what sort of cargo it was carrying. Oddly, I had mentioned to you guys that it was an 8,000-pound magnet. And I asked offhandedly, what do you do with an 8,000-pound magnet? That's weird. My husband instantly said, that's military grade.
No.
Okay, interesting.
Like everyone else, I've
Candace,
from VS
I don't
Code,
even
and my
want to
daily
know
drive,
about
I
that
use
thing.
two ways that I like to use it to build
Oh,
sanity
shit, you know.
configurations.
It's military grade. Okay, interesting. Also, the person that was the captain of that ship was a man named Guy Choplin, okay? He was manning the ship, and yet we could not locate photos of this individual beyond 2 pictures. And one, which is like his official filings as a captain, looks like he's a child. Here it is. That's Guy Choplin there in the corner. All we are able to determine about Guy
Looks like
Choplin
Prince
is that he was born
Charles.
in 1910.
I mean, King Charles.
He died in 1994. Oh, okay. And then I kind of a little bit think he's got the Trogneau face, like the ears.
Oh,
but that would
she's
just be
hot.
speculation. So let's
But I
move
live
on.
on the main road, people.
What is not
and the
speculation
noise.
is that in the 1960s, MK Ultra was in full swing across California.
Did you hear that, MK
Our
Ultra?
government was pretty deranged, really deranged in what they were trying to do with that program. They were interested specifically, that's just one facet of MK Ultra, in using magnets, I kid you not, to hack our brains.
Wow! Fucking shut up! What did you just fucking say, Candace? They're using magnets to hack our brains. Now remember, people, about our bodies having electrolysis and all that shit. And do you remember back in the day, they used to test the mental health people? I would have been one of them people that they would have electrocuted. The electrolysis, and we'd be like, oh, that's evil. What was the really testing, though? When there was electrocuting people, yeah. What was the, when there was electrocuting us, what was it really doing? We're literally lab rats for these people, so they can enhance their fucking lives. And let me tell you, you're thinking this is all bullshit. It's like the black people, especially dark-skinned ones, they've got a special thing in their body that's different from every other human. And they want to extract that because they think that that will make them live a bit longer. Yes, they do. They can't do fuck all with my blood because I got sickle cell, mate. Do you know where I'm coming from? But let's listen to this again.
That's just one facet of MK Ultra in using magnets, I kid you not, to hack our brains. I wish I was kidding, honestly, but you should know that among the many projects that were using magnets, one was called Sub-Project 119. The government wanted to see if they could alter our brain waves by using big magnets.
Now, to understand what she means about altering our brainwaves, we do work off electrolysis. Our energy works off it, and they're trying to stop us from opening up our sixth. I've got tongue twist. They're trying to stop you from opening up your sixth sense, your third eye, and everything else on top. And there's certain ways to suppress it. Number one, by making you docile and only telling you this is this and that is that. It's like, you know, when you do little experiments on animals. Am I lying? When you do little experiments on animals and you can keep some out in the wild, but some of them in cage. And then you see the difference in between them. That's what they do with us. We're literally guinea pigs. And then don't think that each of us haven't got different things. Like, if you're, they call it white people, predominantly paler, you've got a lot less calcium and things. There's a lot. You're right, Lexi. Oh, she's fucking throwing up. It's my daughter, people. So, they've been doing experiments and people think that they're only doing MK Ultra on the rich and famous. No, they've been doing it on all of us.
Yeah, I'm not kidding. This was the era of just deranged psychology. By the way, there was no era when psychology was not deranged, but this was extra special. They needed to see if they could hack and control our minds, and electromagnets were a massive piece of the MK Ultra experimentation agenda.
Now, why would you want to control someone's mind? Think about it. Why would I want to control your mind? Because to me, it's only for malicious reasons. There's no other reason why I would want to control someone's mind. If I don't know you, why would I want to control your mind? Unless I want you to do my bidding. So that means literally you're my employee, or want of a better word, you're my slave.
Project in particular, the Sub-Project 119, was led by two doctors at UCLA who realized that brains irradiate low frequencies with respective activities. So they're saying, oh, the brain's got these frequencies going on. And they're wondering if they could then manipulate those brain waves electromagnetically. Stanford University similarly picked up research regarding electromagnets in the early 70s. That is, if you look throughout the Stanford yearbooks at that time, they speak a lot about it. And like I said, I know this because I accessed those yearbook archives. They're very interesting. The head of MK Ultra was Dr. Jolly West. We know this. And per Tom O'Neill's book, Chaos, we know that Jolly West went to Stanford University in 1966. And what I am about to tell you
As she did
about
show the
the
picture
Stanford University prison experiment.
I'm George, founder and CEO
A
of
prison
I've worked in the
experiment.
food industry for like 8 years now. I've really understood the importance of
She did talk about what?
Experiment is going to positively shock you. Because of course, you know me. I'm nosy. I had to send somebody there to access those files. And of course, I also had to contact one of the prisoners that was involved myself.
Good girl.
But first, I want to tell you a little bit of background about the experiment, okay? So, the reality is that the more dramatic stories pertaining to the Holocaust did not actually begin to manifest until decades after the event. In fact, even the stories about Dr. Mengele, an Israeli historian, Ephraim Zaroff, discovered that his image among former Auschwitz inmates who were interviewed right after the war was harmless. The angel of death who committed unspeakable tragedies evolved slowly over time. And in this evolution, regular people began to wonder, are we really to believe that everybody just jumped in and took place and took part in this evil? Are people just intrinsically evil that if you see somebody doing these terrible things, you're going to jump in like all these Nazis did?
Let me tell you something,
Nuremberg.
we need to start doing a history lesson on the Goddess channel on what really fucking happened. I don't know where you want to go back, but we're going to be doing a history lesson on every fucking colour, how every religion started, who's hiding fucking what. It's about time. Every conspiracy will be on fucking turned. Because all this is adding up, and I'm a curious fucking minx. And I want to know what's going on. Alex Jones might be a player, but you're right. Sometimes memes about fluoride in the water. It's not lying about the fluoride in the water. They're trying to poison you through water. Water is very fucking good. Water is spiritual. Water can tell you a lot and help you a lot. And they've been poisoning us with water for fucking years. Look at the pipes, yeah. Is it Louisiana? Look at the pipes in America. Half of the pipes in America that are giving you lot your water in the US of A, just America alone. Do you know how rusty the pipes are? Now look at the pipes in where I live in the UK. Now look at where everyone else around the world, look at our land. And we're putting trust in these. We're giving our children things like this. They're poisoning us day by day. They're spraying things into the air. They're telling us to chop our bodies up. They're trying to electrify us. They're doing a lot of weird shit. Yeah, our food. I mean, you know, the food around the world. If you go to like Spain, how fresh the fruit is, Jamaica and that. Then you go to the US of A. Fuck me, there's a woman in England and she got some strawberries and they was real. And she went to America and you should have seen it. It was as fake as fuck. And I thought, what the fuck are they feeding the Americans? It's vile. They're literally poisoning you. And we're sitting back, watching. We're talking about a genocide in Gaza, which is vile. We're talking. We're not doing nothing. And yet, we're also not realising while we're talking about that distraction, they're doing genocide on us. They're spraying things in the air and telling us, oh, don't worry about it. They're poisoning your food and say, oh, don't worry about it. Do you know what I mean? They're putting things inside your body and telling you, don't worry about it. You don't know how to do it. Am I lying? Exactly. So people,
You're killing
let's
everybody,
listen
right?
to this last bit.
And people are going to ask that question. Is it possible that a person who has never harmed an individual in their entire life can radically transform into a monster?
Of course
Is
they
there
can.
a quiet monster that lives inside of all of us?
You can change anyone.
Well,
into
Philip
anything.
Zimbardo
No
at Stanford
human.
University set out
We're
to
animals.
prove that, yeah, in the right environments, very quickly, people are going to do unspeakably evil things if everybody else is doing it. If management tells them, hey, carve out this person's eye, they're going to do it, okay? Almost instantly, by the way. Without thought, they just do it because it lives in all of us. So you shouldn't question any stories that you read. And
Because you're
also,
weird if you
you should
don't.
be forgiving and understanding.
You see how they do it. It's like a bullying tactic. It is a bullying tactic. Now, this week, your task, yeah, everyone, all my kings and queens on here, and don't forget my paupers or my haters that are watching. I've got a little task for you. I'm just...
They're going to do it, okay? Almost
Okay.
instantly, by the way. Without thought, they just do it because it lives in all of us. So you shouldn't question any stories that you read. And also, you should be forgiving and understanding of future military grade.
Are you going to be forgiving and understanding this week of how many people that have made mistakes on you? Clock up how many people today alone that you know are lying to you. But you're not going to say nothing or manipulating you because that's what it is. And then clock up how many times someone will say, do you want to do this? You don't want to do it, but you go along with it. Just say.
Torture, like what happens in Abu Ghraib. This is just what people do. They get sadistic. The Stanford prison experiment was funded by the U.S. Office
Rather
of
good
Naval
or
Research,
evil.
and I'm going to let you hear Philip Zimbardo in his own words here explain how it all came together. Take a listen.
Our goal, back in 1971, was to study the behavioral and psychological consequences of becoming a prisoner or prison guard. To do this, we decided to simulate a prison environment, both physically and mentally.
In other words, become the slave or the master. That's what they mean. How do we decipher who's going to become the slave or the master? And to stay as the elite. Yeah, because if that person's the elite, and that one's the elite, and that one's the elite, one of them's going to get jealous of the other and want to kill one of them. That's just how it goes. And if that one sees that one killing that one, then that one's going to want to follow suit. Do you see the psychology in it? Basically, everybody wants to be the master. A lot of people don't want to admit it, but they do. Everybody wants to be the hero as well. And when they don't become the hero, they become the villain. So in life, you're either a hero or a villain. Oh, Mary, you know what? Every job's a prison at the minute, but count your blessings, honey. You got a job. Yeah? And just look at the world, yeah, optimistically. Look at the glass as half full, not half empty. Because if you keep looking at life negatively, you will bring negativity out. I don't look at life negative like that. I have a lot of negativity brought my way, and I brush it off. Every job I've had comes with negativity, babes. That's life. God only gives you what you can handle. If life was smooth sailing, what lesson would you have been taught? Think about it. If life was brilliant for everyone, what's the fucking point? You get bored and then you'd have to find something else to do. I guarantee people are never satisfied. I'd rather have trouble at work than to be going through what a lot of other people are going through. Oh gosh. Well, you be careful, honey pot, but count your blessings, yeah? And everyone on that note, that's as much as I can take of Candace. But we all know what's going on. She's telling you about the MK Ultra. She also told you, quick recap, she told us at the start of her show, we all know that the presidential candidate, you don't vote for it, it was already pre-planned. Well, if it was pre-planned, why was you doing all that Kilimanjaro videos? If you knew it was all pre-planned. And then when Trump offered you a job and you didn't get it, that's when you started piping up, you and Elon. You know what I mean? Because you didn't get your own way. Did you really think, after all the backstabbing that Trump's done to everyone else, that he was going to have your back? But you know what, Candace? It worked out good for all of us. Because there's nothing like a woman scorned. Do you know what I mean? And on that note, everyone, thank you for joining me. If you'd like to make a small donation, I would really like that, because I do not get paid off YouTube, and it would help fund my daughter's birthday coming up. I do need to fucking pay for it. Single mother over here. Doing my job over here. Anything will do. And every donation will be read out. And please like, subscribe, and share only if you do care. Everyone, I am Shamz the Goddess. Love you all, don't forget. Shamz don't care. Thank you for being here. Bye. Have a brilliant day. Bye, babes.